4, 3, 2, 1. Close second, maybe length, but stroke is the proper term we want to use. Clearance volume, yes. Volume. What's this a picture of? Yeah, it's going in the spark plug hole. What's he doing? Cylinder pressure test. Yeah, compression test, but not a differential pressure test. Not what we do in aviation, right? We have 2 gauges in aviation. We put constant pressure in there. This is just a gauge going to a spark plug hole. And they would turn the engine over and get a certain reading, and it would stay there, and it would tell you how much pressure your cylinder is making. But it doesn't tell you where the leaks are. Okay, this is too much time. Let's skip ahead. Oh, swept volume plus clearance volume equals total volume 110 divided by clearance volume 10. Yeah, I said it's an easy mistake and people make it. So let's make these mistakes now before you get to the test center. My engine's running a little rough. Isn't that a nice picture? Yeah, if one's 250 and it's a 4-cylinder, times that by 4 and it gets you 1,000 cc's, which is equal to 1 liter. Why did 8 people answer 100 cc? Math? See the difference between these cylinders? All normal cylinders, and this cylinder is missing the valve snapped off. These valves are bent. All this bright color metal is the pieces of the valves hitting in there, probably caused by detonation. Oh, there's an inside micrometer. Yeah, cylinder bore. Okay, not piston diameter, because that's what goes inside. Piston will be slightly smaller than the bore. Valve clearance, yikes. Yikes. I was bamboozled on this one myself. But look at that. We got 6 time zones in there. PST, MST, CST, EST, AST, and Newfoundland. Half an hour off. Eh? Eh. Choose the right one, eh? I didn't realize how many times I said eh until I went down to the United States of America for a training course, and the Americans pointed it out every time. Oh, how do you get 251.2? I know how you got that. Remember, bore is a diameter, not a radius. I think that's probably where the mistake went. Okay, was it bore of 10 centimeters? Stroke 5 centimeters. That's all they give us, right? Our formula is pi r squared times height, 8.14. Well, half the bore would give us our radius. 5 centimeter radius. 5 in there. Turns to a 25. 1,4 times 25 times. There should be 8. 8 equals 28 cc's, cubic centimeters. Okay. It's easy, okay? Okay, high performance gasoline is not a bad guess because I didn't really talk about it. High performance naturally aspirated would probably only go up as like 12 or 13 to 1. But diesels, because they operate kind of on the same principle as detonation, we want that pressure to be super high, and then we just spray the fuel onto the high pressure temperature and it ignites instantly. So when you get compression ratios this magnitude, it's going to be a diesel engine. Two strokes, same principle as far as burning gasoline. It's still susceptible to detonation and pre-ignition and all the rest of it. Everything happens in half the time. Can you get those calculators out again? IR squared is H times number of cylinders. Ah, yes, Vincent, the ancient Chinese calculator. A handy tool. Bit of a spread. Let's go over this one too. Yeah. IR squared. It's our R. R is 3. 3 times 3 is 9. I times height, stroke, 5 inches, times number of cylinders. And we put all those numbers together, and we should get 846.7, something like that. 847 point something, which we rounded up to 848. And our units are cubic inches. cubic inches. Yeah, it's simple stuff, but it's easy to make mistakes at the same time. Nine is r squared. So my bore is 6. The radius would be 3 inches. 3 times 3, or 3 to the power of 2, is 9. Okay. Oh, Mercan's family's here today. Welcome. Well, some of you got fooled by this typing error. Swept volume plus clearance volume is your total volume. That's all we're asking here. Ten to 1, very good. Swept volume or clearance volume, 90. And sorry, swept volume or displacement volume is another name for that. Added with the clearance volume gives us 100 cc's compared to just the clearance volume of 10. Our compression ratio is 10 to 1. High compression engines are more fuel efficient. We got to burn more expensive fuel, right? Higher octane fuel. So, and it's not as good for supercharging. We actually have to lower our compression ratio if we're putting a supercharger or turbocharger on our engine. Hmm. Is this not selected? And low compression engines can still have detonation. I don't know why that's not an answer. I don't see why it wouldn't be. Yeah, I think that's correct. Alert of detonation. Well, it's still susceptible to detonation, so that's probably why it's not. But in comparison to a high compression engine, anyways, if you see this on the test, you could get a blue sheet out. Does everyone know about the blue sheets in the test center? You don't like one of the test questions, you go call Annie or whoever's running the tests, ask for a blue sheet, and you can contest one of our questions that we've made if you don't think it's fair, or if you think the answer you answered is correct. You need to fill out a blue sheet and you give them back to Annie. Then she gives those blue sheets to me and Mr. Lazarus, and we take a second look at this question. Most of the time, we probably won't give you mark back, but there has been actually many occasions where a student has pointed out a test question that maybe had a typo that made the question answer wrong, or something we taught in class or something we didn't teach in class. And that's basically your only means of getting a higher mark than you got on your test. There were a good few that had changed in the first 2 months. Yeah, especially if we put out a whole bunch of new test questions. Sometimes just a different mindset will give us a different perspective on a question that we didn't think of. And we use these blue sheets we'll give you a mark back, and we also use it to help refine the questions so they're not so confusing. Definitely worth the time. If I don't hear about it, I don't know. Right? When we put the test questions out there, we think they're good, but we're all humans and we make mistakes. So this is a way for you to get some free marks, possibly. Kershaw.